because we're on that stage and we're on TV and guys want to be seen and throwing things. You know, we had a lot of pressure that was placed on us when we got ready to play Miles at homecoming. That was the biggest stage that some of my kids had ever seen, because homecoming at CAU is not really was about football. It was a party that was surrounded by a football game that's playing intramurals down there while they party. So now to get the kids to stay focused, I don't know if you've ever been to a AUC homecoming, and I'm not talking about my school, the school that I work for. What I'm saying is that it's a party. I'm talking about a whole live event with full, most schools homecoming starts on Friday. In the AUC Center, it starts on that Sunday after and ends on that Monday for brunch. And when you talk about a party going on, it's hard to keep a kid focused because there's so many events and things that were going on. And then you're playing arguably one of the best teams in the conference. So do you know how hard it was to keep a team focused to go in to play a game on homecoming? And he probably, went to a phone party the night before the game and thinking he was going to come in and just play, because like I said, when you're 18 to 22 years old, at most institutions, it's hard to stay focused. But in the AUC Center, it's definitely hard to stay focused when you see, everything that's going on. But I think the most important thing is eliminate turnovers, stop the run, and play good special teams. And if we do those things well, I mean, if you look at the stat sheet when we played them, they blocked the punt. And the analytics say they blocked the punt for a touchdown. The analytics say that if you can block a punt block a punt period in a game, your chances of winning just went up 80%. So that's a big plus there. I think we got to do better on kickoff, covering the kicks. Our average field positioning for them started at about the plus 40. I mean, the 40-yard line. Our average field positioning started at, like, we took the ball at the 10-yard line or the 15-yard line, which makes a lot of pressure that on your punter, if you can't get, if you don't get a first down to be able to split field positioning, now you're talking about they playing on a half a field and you asking them and you giving them cheap points. And we got to do a better job in those areas. And I think those are areas that we worked on. I think that we did a good job, but those 5 or 4 turnovers, they had 3 turnovers that turned into 21 points for them, plus the punt, which gave them 28 points of the 49 they scored.
Coach, let me ask you this question, and I'm glad you said that. You talked about pacing yourself, and we got a lot of lay people. I want you to expound on that, but also to go into a point when you have a quarterback that is as talented as Wright. How do you say, hey, settle down, don't try to do too much, stay within the game?
That's a hard thing to ring a guy in that what I call is a gunslinger. He's learned that he can throw himself in a game and he can throw himself out of a game. Sometimes you can score too quick. Sometimes you can, when you play a team like Miles that I call is a grinder team, they're one of those players that get their plays like 2 or 3 chunk yards, and they're going to pound on you and they're going to lay on you and they're going to try their best to wear you down. With a team like that, we got to make sure we pace ourselves with them, that we don't create. When you start forcing things, you start creating turnovers, and they just kind of wait on you to give them something. And if you give them some, they know how to capitalize on it. And you're working against the clock as well when you play teams like that. The first drive, we went down the field and scored, but the next possession, they had the ball for over 7 minutes. And those, you can't play catch up with a team grinding on you, and you can't get off the field on 3rd down. So I feel like we want to try to slow it down a little bit, try to play at the pace they play at.
Coach, one last thing, and then I'll turn it back over. And we talked about this being a championship game. The previous team was 0-11. How do you instill, because you did bring winners from Allen, but for the overall squad, for players that were not there, like you said, you had players that were on the team last year. How do you say, instill that to say, hey, we are a championship team. I know you're new to this winning, but how do you instill that, even though I know you've done that through the course of the season, but just one game right here?
Well, I think that what you do is the players that we bought there already knew what to expect. And they set the standard for the players that were there and the new players that joined us. And they did a good job in their leadership and then what I call peer leadership of setting that standard and that work ethic and everything you needed to have. Is it all the way there yet? No, it's not there all the way yet. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. But at the end of the day, we did change the culture to get us where we at today. But for this game, like I said, we didn't try to do anything differently. I tell people all the time, you prepare for these games just like you prepare for anything else. Don't make the moment too big. A lot of the kids and their parents, and they put a lot of pressure on them. And, you got the people around the campus patting them on the back. They want to do they want to do pep rallies. They want to do everything. But like I tell the people, they get mad at me at the institution because I don't want to do the things that go around winning. And I tell them we just want to treat it like a normal day and don't apply that much pressure on them and, think that they're going to, at 18 to 22, be able to process that. Because right now, some of them are the most handsomest men on the campus. And if they win the game, they're going to be the finest man on campus. So,
Coach, yes, ain't it 40 to 1, something like that? 40
yeah,
girls
it's a lot.
to one guy?
It's too much pressure for one man.
Hey, Coach, let me kind of switch the conversation a little bit because I'm not sure where this could head. But Coach, you got a young coach on your staff, Coach. I was able to see him out there really working with the guys, really out there developing players. Other than him having to have a restroom break, he was on the job the entire time I was down there. Tell us about Coach Caleb and what he's been able to add to your program down there.
Coach who?
Caleb. Is his name Caleb?
Running back coach, I think.
Cody. No. My little coach. Coach Keaton.
He resting right now. Here you go. He's sleeping on the job right now.
Cohen, I'm sorry. I messed his name up. Cohen, I'm sorry.
Cohen.
Hey, nepotism. He get to sleep on the job.
Yeah, he's sleeping. He got his dad. He waits for me to come home. It's the greatest feeling in the world to have your son. And I know I really appreciate him. And he loves Coach Cole. Coach Cole is like that. That's who he idolized, he wants to be with, and Coach Cole acts as his grandparent and just standing there with him. But Coach Cohen loves what he's doing, and I'm talking about Saturday. He was in every picture. I'm talking about the check presentation, the trophy presentation. He was on my interviews, and I thought he was gonna make it to the interview tonight, and I was gonna let him get on there. And he's been over here watching this thing, and I said, I guess the time said it's time to go to bed, Daddy. But he's done a tremendous job with me. I love the fact that he wants to learn football, and now he's wanting to watch it, and he's starting to pay attention to it. He's only 4 years old, but he kind of got a grasp of what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it was sensational to watch him and to watch the players kind of take to him, man, and of course, him interacting with LC. He was really, for a guy to be that young, man, and be engaged that way about football. Hey, Coach, you don't have to worry about buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards and any of that kind of stuff. You just got to keep playing footballs around the house, and I'm sure he's entertained.
Any ball around the house, he go throw it. I'm talking about it's going to be everywhere. His mama going to be fussing at me about, he going to break some in here. But, he's a boy's boy. He really is, and he's taking the Coach Cole's son, Clay, and him and Clay, when they get together, it's a whole party. They be running around. He's tired before we get to the first quarter.
Like I say, Coach, to see that was sensational to see him that close to the football team and the guys to embrace him being around in that environment. I'm sure he's having the time of his life.
Yeah. He is.
Man, big game, Coach. Big game this week.
Man, we just thank y'all for everything y'all do for HBCU football. It's appreciated. It's appreciated. Even though I was on First Take and everything else, but you just remember that this the small, organizations like you guys that got your podcasts, is the things that have been covering HBCU football, who really knows what's going on and what's happening with our players, our young men, everybody that's around. We look forward to get these opportunities. I've been on 4 shows in one day today. And I mean, everybody's happy about what we're doing. And I think that it's just tremendous the stage that we're about to set in Birmingham, Alabama, because we didn't woke up the dead at Clark Atlanta. I'm talking about the W.E. DuBose people are out. They are buying. We got 9 buses going to Miles. So if nothing else, the environment is going to be. Miles is a great. I call it the President George T. French bowl game, because he has played a great role in building Miles College, and then he comes over to CAU and try to create the same culture that he created there. And what a wonderful feeling as a president to go in and the 2 teams that you created is now playing for a championship. I mean, I think there's some value in what he's done as a president that allows that stage to be that big for, most of the time in the SIAC, if you go to the game, because we were playing at different locations, a team that was playing like maybe Benedict would travel a little bit, Albany State would travel a little bit, but it wouldn't be a lot of people at the game. But I think this game here going to be one for the stage.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I got to do this for you again. Now, you said that's 9 buses. I know I've been in Atlanta since 1994. I know a lot of those CAU alums. They got a lot of money. So like you say, they like to have them $100, $200, $400 parties. So I'm going to say to all you CAU people, if you can pay $100 for a party, you can donate $100 to Coach Keaton to keep that bus rolling. So I just want to put that out there for you, Coach, because like I say, it's amazing to see, because me being in Atlanta, and like you said, nobody talked about the football game ever. This was the first time that I had friends of mine, and I said, where y'all going, man? Oh, man, we got to get down here early because we got to go to the football game. Y'all got to go where? So that is a testament to what you have done and excitement that you brought to CAU.
Yeah. I thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm continuing to hope to be able to continue to provide that type of space for the people in the AUC Center. Because after the game at Morehouse, a player came up to me and it almost touched me. He said, Coach, I just want you to know you're inspiring more people than you really know you are. What you've done, not for just Clark Atlanta, but we're talking about for the AUC Center, period. You are pushing everybody to pay more attention to what we're doing on the field, which is going to make the people up top have to push more money into making sure our programs be a little bit more competitive. And I think they all compete in the academic component. But when it came to the athletic component, that, we kind of pushed it to the side. And I also want to think about the fact that here's a scenario that basketball was the big king there. And, they were trying to make their institution. I don't think they did it on purpose, but it's just a more enjoyable sport to go inside, and it only lasts about an hour and 30 minutes for it to go. But when you go in there, we tell them we live in the South. If football is doing good, the institution is usually doing well.
Yeah.
And let me tell you one last thing. For a fact, though, my god brother is a Morehouse alum. You got them Morehouse folks shook, Coach. You got them shook. I'm telling you that right now. That is the first time when I heard my big brother, my god brother saying, I guess we need to start getting serious about football. So just like you say, a high tide raises all boats, Coach. So I'm telling you something. You got them folks right across the way thinking about football now. I
think they had a meeting, and they had a real serious meeting after that, because they wanted that trophy to stay over there. And so I bet you the start of the meeting said, are we interested, or are we going to become invested?
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, over at Morehouse, they probably going to suggest that y'all in a dance competition with them before you're in another football game, Coach.
I don't know. We might have to get into a debate about that. I really had a nice time at Morehouse's homecoming. That was our bye week, and I went over, and I had always heard about Spellhouse homecoming. Do you know, I've never been around so many people with leather couches, no barbecue grills. We talking about catered food.
Okay.
No pots of gumbo.
No pots
no
of gumbo.
No fried wings.
I mean, it was a time to be reckoned with. And I'm talking about it was shoulder to shoulder, and I think we really enjoyed it. But I'm excited. Guys, you don't know how excited I am to be a part of something that's bigger than myself, and the impact that I'm making in the AU Center, and the kids when they see me on campus, and I'm not standoffish, and I'm with them, and you see we got our president jumping for joy with those students. I think I don't want to be untouchable and I unapproachable. Can't go to the calf and sit down. When you go see those kids and they tell you thank you, I think that's the biggest reward and the flowers you can get, because this group that's about to graduate and this group of freshmen that came to the AUC Center is going to remember what we did, and they're going to start a trend of wanting to be a part of CAU or Morehouse College's process of playing football. And I think that it's going to turn into a whole different game after a while, because the folks with money and the folks that got a little more money, they both coming together to say, we got to figure out how to make this game bigger than what it really is.
Absolutely, Coach. 100%. I'm telling you, I've heard it. Like I said, it is reverberate. Trust me, 100%. You're right.
What is the travel plans, Coach?
We will leave here Thursday, probably around 1 o'clock, and we will head to Birmingham. We're going to try to practice Thursday morning at 11 so we can, see what that looked like, what our kids' energy looked like, and, how they, move about at that time of the day. And then we're going to try to get there and, get ourselves situated. We got some things we need to do, like films and meetings, and get everybody situated. And we got Friday morning, we have the banquet where we, recognize both teams as being in the championship game, and all the superlatives, the major superlatives like player of the year, coach of the year, and all those things will be given out on that day. And then we'll go back and practice. My high school team, my old high school team is playing Fairfield High School on that day. So I'll probably get up and try to run over there and catch a little bit of that game. And then we'll get ready to go play football on Saturday morning.
Hold up, Coach. Now, last time I was talking to Coach Cole said that y'all drove down the Florida Memorial, got off the bus, put your shoulder pads on, played the game, finished the game, got a sip of water, jumped on the bus, came right back. Now, that's a 15-hour ride, Coach. How y'all gonna stay 2 days and y'all only going two hours?
Man, this championship, man, Coach, I'm the championship, Coach.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, Rocky. Winning changes a lot of things, though.
Tell him, Coach. We ain't going, Coach. We going first class.
They might find y'all some new cliques, huh, Coach?
Boy, I tell you what, boy, you ought to see the people that just stopped by the office talking about what we need and how we gonna get it done. And
it's we, ain't it, Coach? It's always
we now. I'm scared that I know that people, fans will turn on you in a minute now. You ain't been used to winning. If I don't come back to Atlanta with that trophy, they might have my tires on full flats.
Coach, I can honestly tell you this: they not gonna do nothing because they don't want to go back to Ophir.
I would agree with you. The love that they've given in the AUC Center. I'm not just talking about Clark Atlanta. I'm talking about the AUC Center in its whole. Clark Atlanta's did nothing but show out since we've been winning. And they coming up. I don't know where they coming from. They coming from everywhere. Every week I meet a new football player. I meet a new coach. I just meet a lot of people that are thankful for what we're doing. And I think that's why you do the job, and you're very happy about that. And you hear conversations. Now I can't go to the grocery store and somebody be like, hey, you that coach at Clark Atlanta, keep up the good work. Or you see people with Clark Atlanta sweaters on, and you see them, they prideful about their school, and they love themselves some CAU. And I'm glad that I just wanted to add a little bit more pride and a little bit more competitive spirit by boosting their football program. And for my first year to be playing for a championship, I think we've set the bar real high.
Hey, Coach, last thing, Coach.
Wait, right, hold on, because I'm sorry. With that being said, what would it mean to you to win a championship, you personally?
I've won a couple, but never a SIAC title.
Right.
And I don't know, it might be the day Johnnie Cole get to see me cry, because out of all the places that I probably could have won one at, this was probably be the one that would be more significant and would carry on for the rest of my life. Because what we've been through and where we at today is like, wow. That's where it would be. I don't know. It just would be. I don't even know. I'm just waiting on that moment because we'll work. The kids are working really hard. It's been long. This for the first time, and I can honestly say this. This is the first time I've ever coached football in 26 years that I'm ready for the season to be over with, because it's been a draining, hard to change a culture of not just the players, but we talking about a whole entire institution from the administration all the way down to what it takes to win. So now to cap this off with a championship would be almost a remember the Titans too.
You know, Coach, you say that, and it would be a tremendous movie. Even if you don't win a championship, Coach, this season will be a tremendous story and a movie. But I also want to say, Coach, you're one of those guys, one of the few guys in HBCU that has leveraged social media to create a story and a narrative about your team. Like it's almost like you took Deion Sanders' playbook and that he did at Jackson State and did something similar to that. I follow you and CAU football, and you guys do a great job with engaging, just football fans as a whole. And I can see the transformation of your facilities, those new chairs and all those kind of things that you've been getting over the last few weeks. And so what I'm saying, Coach, how has that helped tell the story of Clark football this season?
I think if you don't tell it, you can't control the narrative. So I think when you put it out there, because there's not a lot of national media, not a lot of real media, the local media don't come unless it's something bad happen or it's a big stage that they want to put you on. So I think you have to, embrace that. And I also know that's where the players live. I watch my players and what they do, and I keep young folk around me so that I can stay young to know what's going on, to how I can attract other talents to my program. So when we embrace that, and I paid for that out of my own pocket, when I got to Clark, they never used their social media platform to its ability. So I thought that we need to get a media team to engage the players, the coaches. Coach Cole went viral twice on social media since he's been there, and the students. And you get their comments, and there's a lot of vloggers that's already there that do this on a daily basis, that we needed to capture those moments so that people could understand what it took behind the scenes to see what it looked like at a D2 on a smaller level. Now, during the game, those people who did not come to a game, they could get their highlighted moments. If you notice that we do a lot of things in real time. So if a guy scores a touchdown, they try to capture that moment, and you got somebody right now posting the touchdown as it happened. And that stuff is what major college football programs do to enhance their brand and what they're selling. I don't need to do much to enhance CAU's brand, but its athletic brand was not where everybody else was in the country. And that was my goal of trying to get everybody involved, which led to all these platforms want to speak to us, wanted to see us and what we did. And you got the people around the conference calling me Deion 2.0.
But I need to contact the media, SIAC, the commissioner or whatever. They got an SID for the conference.
I think that's in all schools, and I think all of you guys have been around long enough that the SIDs is a hit and miss at most institutions.
Well, I was asking, does the conference got it?
They don't. And that's what I'm saying, that all schools on all levels, whether it be FAMU or anyway, sometimes you go on they media, they don't update it enough. They got to have somebody dedicated to just working social media platforms. It's other places that when you guys getting ready to do your show, to do your homework, you got to wait for 2 days for the stats to be on the website. Those things it's unacceptable at the collegiate level. And I as a coach, everybody know I've been very vocal. I speak out about things that other people won't talk about, but there's things that we have to do better if we want more coverage. So if you're thinking that the local news is going to run around searching for the stats of the game or who won the game, or you can't find out about who won the game till Monday at work, and then sometimes when you get to work, the score wrong or the stats up there wrong or the roster don't have the right numbers to go with the right players, that we got to do a better job as institutions to put effort. I mean, making an intentional effort of making sure that we do these things to help broadcast and help create value for our kids so they can get NIL deal, all that stuff that could come with playing football.
Yeah, I was trying. So if you were media, you have to go through you guys SID.
Yes, you do, but I made it easy. You can just go to my page and go to the football page. I got control of that page to make sure that we post the score immediately on all social media platforms. So if I'm riding the
press
bus,
credentials, who do we go through for press credentials?
You go through SID, but if you get to them, you let me know.
Well, good thing I got a key, a straight line to you. You can walk down to his office. At least you can leave the HBCU Football Coaches Corner some media passes.
Now, Coach, you know what? I'm going to make a suggestion to you because you're so well loved on that campus. Clark Atlanta has one of the top broadcast journalism schools in the country. They have young ladies that are on national newscasts. So, Coach, you need to get one of those great young ladies to say, listen, I want you to put a football show together and get those stats together and put that out there in a 5-minute blog with you and her or him. But like I said, again, I know that is a great school for that. So, Coach, listen, you got to listen, Coach, I'm going to tell you one thing. Do not allow these alums to slack, because what I told you the first time you came on here, they got the money. Don't let them folks down at CAU tell you that they don't. They got them big Benzes, them Rolls Royce. They brag about all that all over Atlanta. So I'm going to hold an account. Coach Keaton can't say you CAU folks, and you got daughters that are at that school. You got sons at that school in that broadcast journalism. Support this man, because like Coach says, look at the money that Coach is going to be able to fundraise for CAU. Look at what he's going to be able to do for the football team, for the basketball team. So I want to really see this CAU family to really come behind you, Coach, because like I said, you building something, and they are right there for you, Coach. They are right there.
And they doing a great job of coming together. I mean, some of them got so bad, they was, talking about making sure they paid me and do everything they supposed to do, that they had to turn the comments off because they was letting them know that if Coach Keaton slip out of here, there's going to be some smoke in the city.
Let them talk, Coach. Let them talk. Let them talk.
Hey, I'm not stopping nothing. I'm just creating the space for them to do it at.
Well, Coach, man, look, hey, my flight, I'll be down there, and seriously, I'll be trying to reach out to the SID. Can you at least walk down and say, can you put the media passes away? Or I don't know how it works.
The conference office, they have not sent them yet, but I'm sure we was on a Zoom call tomorrow. We got ESPN. I mean, I got 11 Alive. I got all kind of stuff going on tomorrow. And it's been a long, as you can tell, I'm tired. As Coach Cohen has already conked out on me. We both wearing it out, but we're trying our best to get all institutions, not just CAU, everybody to do a better job for programs like yourself, that you don't have to run around and search for things, that it should be at your display. At most institutions when you go, especially the PWIs, they have a media packet for you. They also have a program of how you're going to get in, where you can park at. And sometimes we don't do proper planning for events and doing things the right way. We do more for a concert than we do for an athletic event. And I think that if we did a better job of promoting our kids, their kids will want to send their kids back to our institutions. And I think that if you see the star-studded coaching staff that's going to be in that stadium on Saturday, it's almost like you got EJ Jr., first-round draft pick, Alabama Hall of Famer. You got Sam Shade. You got Antonio Langham. You got Ron McKinney, the first and only linebacker to win the Harlan Hill Trophy in Division II football at North Alabama. I mean, there's going to be a lot of coaches there. George Pugh, Alabama A&M, played at the University of Alabama. So that stage is set for one of the greatest, things that probably could happen in HBCU football, and I'm just to be a small part of it. The guy who went from the equipment manager to the head coach and have turned around 3 programs, just to be a part of that is just grateful to my heart.
All right, Coach, man. Good luck. I'll see you guys probably Friday. Coming out and watch you guys. Maybe see if you guys are working out, or if not, we know how we do it. And maybe on Friday, man, I bring you and Coach Shea and the staffs together. And I don't know how you do it on Friday. We sit down and break bread. That's what the old guys, Coach Dansby and them.
Yeah, but we play at we play in the early rooster game, so I don't think none of us go.
Hey, look, I forgot about that. Y'all do go at 11, don't you? We're
gonna be leaving for the stadium at 8:45 just to get there in time for warm up. So you talking about? I'm sure that this stage, I was talking to A.A. Moore, who runs the media for Miles. You might want to get in touch with A.A. Moore over at Miles, and he probably has all the credentials and just trying to get them together to get them out. You might have better luck there than you will with my SID. But he said there's been just a host of media that's trying to be there that's not been potentially in the past that wanted to come, but I know why they're coming, because there's a lot of great people that's going to be in that building to play that game.
Right. Well, good luck, Coach, man, and we're looking forward to a great football game.
Thank you, guys, man, and I hope to see you. Rocky, it's always good to see you. And if you when you get up in the morning and we won that trophy, don't call me for 2 days, because I'm going to still be crying, and the trophy might be in the bed with me sleeping.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to send you a congratulations email, though, Coach.
I know you're going to do it, but at the same time, if you don't get a response, charge it to my
enemy. I understand.
Y'all be blessed, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right, man. SIAC Championship week is on.
Oh, it's on in popping, Coach. Hey, Coach, if I hadn't already had something scheduled, I definitely would try to accompany you there. But unfortunately, I have some on the books, and I'm gonna have a good time though, Coach. I'm gonna be having a good time. So Coach, it's not all bad, and I'll depend on Coach Keaton's social media to keep me updated on the game.
I'll shoot you some scores as it go.
Okay.
As it go. I'm looking for a good game. I don't anticipate it being like it was the last one. When Clark woke up, Miles is already up 3 touchdowns. As you see, he talked about all the turnovers and stuff like that. If Clark can, don't turn the ball over, don't give Miles short fields, they can make it tough for Miles. But Miles is definitely going to be hard to beat, especially playing at home.
Yeah. But I think Coach Keaton has a handle on how to bring home the victory. If he can control the line of scrimmage by controlling the running game, I think that's where the game starts. Once he does that and eliminates turnovers, I just think David Wright is going to be the best player on the field, and he's going to give them a chance to win. If he can limit the running and eliminate the turnovers, I think it's setting up to be an epic battle.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I'm just going to speak on this. I'm excited because we had 2 black men that represent their university so well. And you know what we also have, Coach? Because notice, Coach, we get a big bad rap about coaching talent and knowledge in HBCUs. We talked to 2 men that know how to coach.
Yeah, Coach.
That understand the fundamentals, that know what it takes to win. Most of the teams, I've watched both teams play this year, pretty disciplined. Sometimes, like I said, again, there's a little bit of exuberance, a little bit on the Clark side, just a little bit. But I will say that both of these teams, I think, will come in here focused. I think they understand their assignment. And I think it is going to be that Miles defense. And that's why I asked Coach Keaton about, right, is he going to be able to play within himself and not try to do too much? That's where I think the game is going to be won or lost. Can he just keep them on schedule? And then when it's there to make the big play, but not force the big play.
You know, the one thing about David Wright is this, and I think Coach Keaton probably has this as a, you know, as a possible plan to win the game. If Clark Atlanta is close at the end of the game, I'm putting my money on Clark Atlanta just because the way they can move the ball and the way they have been able to move the ball in the clutch all season. They've had several victories where they've had, you know, to win the game down the stretch, from the big kick in Bethune-Cookman and also I want to say Central State. It was a game where it was on the line, down the line, and Coach Keaton and David Wright and the guys, they were able to execute under pressure, and I'm sure they just want a chance to win the game coming down the stretch.
Yeah. Look forward. It's going to be a great game. You know,
Coach, I got a question for you though, Coach. And again, I saw the love between you and your big brother. How nerve-wracking is it for you to sit in those stands and you're not coaching, but you see things and you want to say, LC? Do you get yourself caught up like that, or can you really enjoy the game?
You know, sometimes that happens, but you know, I'm a professional, and you know, I'm there on the sideline, so I try to keep my personal feelings and things that I see, unless I'm asked. You know, if I'm asked, you know, of course I will say some things, but most of the time I try to go in the game, be on the sideline, and never get in between the coach's box. I stay outside the coach because I know how I am. It's natural, as you say, you know, but of course, you know, I want to see him be successful. So I kind of stay on the sideline.
Steve, I depend on you guys' historic reference as far as this. How common is it for the SIAC Championship coach to get a elevation in his position, get an opportunity at a D1 school?
Now, Coach, I'm thinking about, we've had several coaches to move up to the coach bigger HBCUs, and I can go back to W.C. Gordon as one. Correct me if I'm wrong, right, Coach?
Yeah.
So yeah, I it's not unusual, Rocky, to be honest with you. It is
you
really
talking about Coach Comegy, Coach Woody, Coach. There's been several, but none has went to Division 1A.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
he's talking about from.
I'm talking about just a bigger HBCU, Division 1.
It has been definitely a training ground for a lot of HBCUs, and that has been a good thing. I think what has happened is, and I think, Coach, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're seeing a renaissance of the D2 coaches now. Well, we probably, Coach, can name about 5 or 6 good coaches, where maybe a couple of years ago it was kind of like a brain drain, you know what I mean? And a lot of these programs were kind of pilling along and things like that. So it's refreshing that I see guys that are saying, you know what, I want to take the opportunity. Because let's be honest, and Coach Keaton, I'm going to use Sam Shea. Sam Shea could probably be a defensive back coach right now in the SEC somewhere with who and what he is, without blinking, making $500,000-$600,000. But the fact that he says he wants to hone his craft at Miles College lets you know the dedication that he's going to be, and he's going to move up and be a great coach. Same thing with Coach Keaton. You can see the offensive ability that Coach Keaton has. Coach Keaton, if nothing else, he could be like Will and be a wide receiver coach at a group of 5 without blinking. Now, would that hold him back? Of course, because I believe he is head coaching material. But the fact that he is sitting there and allowing himself to build a program, which is, I will say this, CAU, great place to coach, horrible place to coach. You see what I'm saying? It is Jekyll and Hyde, because while Atlanta is beautiful, you talk about players, but CAU has never supported football. They don't know football. They have never cared about football. So the fact that he's able to go in there and show what he's done, that's going to have a lot of people looking at him for the next level.
Even, they have some good coaches in the SIAC. Even when you look at their records, 7-0, 82, 72, 64, 64, 5-5, 5-5. You know what I mean? And those blue bread teams are up there, you know, and they're there every year. You know, Miles, Clark, Clark is new. Fort Valley, Albany State, Tuskegee. They always gonna be up in there. You know what I mean? So
Coach,
they've hired some good coaches on the Division two level.
Coach Cole and I even put Coach Campbell in this situation as an AD, and we're gonna use A&M. We're gonna fire Maynard potentially, right? So you got Teddy Keaton, you got Sam Shea, you have the gentleman at Albany State, and also Gibbs. What do you consider? Do you give serious consideration to those guys who are already in your footprint and part of what I would consider successful programs?
It's a no-brainer to me for Alabama A&M to bring Sam Shade up there. I mean, that's a hit. That's a hit out there. It won't be no different than Chennis Berry walking across the street from Benedict on into South Carolina State. You know, it's a home run hitter. It's a no question. You know what I mean? You know, Teddy Keaton at Alabama A&M. You know what I'm saying? Fort Valley, my man at Alabama A&M. Yeah. You know, I'm just talking about the fit. You know, I'm just talking about the fit. You know, because Alabama A&M is a place that they just solid. You know what I mean? They ain't up and down. They always right here. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you look at that, that's what I see.
Coach, you want me to tell you, and again, I hate doing this because, again, we like to be respectful. We don't want anybody to be fired. But I'm going to tell you something. And I love Coach Keaton, but I'm going to tell you the place that is built for him is North Carolina A&T. Yeah. North Carolina A&T, with that.
He'll get a chance to do it all over again.
Listen, but with that footprint, with the size of that school, with the money that they have, with a very vocal fan base, and I'm talking about, Coach, that is bubbling because, first of all, and like I say, shout out to Josh Sim and them and HBCU. When you got people from Central and Johnny Thornton that are wearing their behinds out, wearing them out in them streets of Raleigh and Charlotte and Greensboro, I mean, wearing them out. Man, listen, them folks from A&T don't take count of that. I got family members that went. So you're talking about a guy that has the charisma, the kind of the bravado that you need for a big program like that. They'll say, hey, I'm here, and we're going to beat them guys tomorrow. I'm telling you something, man. Listen.
So we saying Sam Shea from Miles to A&M, Teddy Keaton from Clark to A&T, NCAT, Fort Valley State, Gibbs to Norfolk. Hello. Hello. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are great fits.
Well, you know what? I mean, and the people that's watching this from Clark, this is all hypothetical. This is all just conjecture. We're just having a conversation. But I also see Teddy Keaton working in Norfolk. I think Norfolk is a city that could work for Teddy Keaton. I think Coach Keaton, in my opinion, is a kind of guy that can really work in a nice size city. And Norfolk is a nice size city. If the pressure in Atlanta is not getting to him, he's able to embrace the celebrity status that he has in Atlanta and make that work and not be distracted and able to keep his team focused. I think he could do the same thing in a Norfolk. You know.
Well, here's my thinking about A&T since they stay in a PWI conference. LC Cole would be great at North Carolina A&T. You know, they play in a PWI conference, which is and
he know what works. He know what works.
He know what works. He's been there before. He'll be a great fit to me at North Carolina A&T. You know what I'm saying? So those we just talking though. You know, of course, we don't want anybody losing their jobs. You know
But
that's
they
not
are.
our thing. But hey, man, you know we've been fixing everything on the HBCU Coaches Corner. So maybe they'll put us on some committee.
Let me ask you this, Campbell. Let me ask you this. This is the last one. If Valley calls Keaton, do you pick up the phone if you Keaton?
No, because see, this is the thing about with Coach Keaton. He's already done that project with CAU. He don't need that. And Allen, because mind you, Allen did not even have a football. Like I told you, I sponsored Allen University. Allen is a basketball school. They did not even have a football team when I sponsored, and which is ironic. It was when Trump won in 2016. I sponsored Allen University, their Royal Court, and I went up there for their homecoming, which was around basketball, and met a lot of football players. So no, there's no need for him to basically take a dead project. It's not going to happen at Valley. It's too many variables and obstacles compared to where you got, again, the A&Ms, the Norfolks, because one thing about that Norfolk footprint, you're talking about tremendous athletes in that Tidewater area, tremendous athletes that you're going to be able to get.
That's another program for LC Cole, Mississippi Valley State.
Now, see,
a turnaround project.
Yeah, now, Coach, and again, you know, just because of things that you and your brother have had to endure, that will be a great challenge for you and your brother.
Yeah.
That would be a great challenge for you and your brother. And it will be something that I think will be a redemption for both of you all to go to Val. Because I think where you guys have gone through your careers, you know, Coach Keaton's a young coach. Coach Shade is a young coach. This is where you see, and you've seen this in major programs, where they bring that elder statesman coach to resettle the program.
North Carolina brought in, what's his name over there? Chapel Hill.
Mac Brown. That left, started in North Carolina, went to Texas, and came back to North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know,
when you look at all your top coaches, and now we talk about most of the championship top coaches are in the upper 50s and late and early 60s.
You know, as you guys talk about it, and as I think about it, and I know you guys think Sam Shade is a natural fit in A&M, and I agree, right? But if I get a shot at getting possibly the best QB in Division I football over at A&M, I got to give Coach Keaton a call as well.
Well, I think, that's where you do have the advantage, because he does come with a quarterback. What I looked at it was more from, and I think Coach Cole, not speaking of him, of the long term.
Oh, okay.
Of the long term, and I think immediately, because one thing about it, Sam Shea can make phone calls all up and down that state of Alabama.
That's right.
And Huntsville, again, is another one of those money cities. NASA's right up there. You've got a lot of University of Alabama alumni.
A lot of engineers.
Yeah, a lot of engineers that work in the area that he can touch, that he can do autograph signings and just say, oh, by the way, I'm over here at this school that y'all don't really know the name of. Can you give me $1,000? And he'll get 100 people that'll do that without blinking.
Yeah.
So I agree with you guys. I think long-term Sam Shea probably be a good fit because of what he brings with him in the state of Alabama, right? I agree with you. But if
Ken Griffin says no. Ken, what you talking about?
I think he's saying no. Wait a minute. Well, let me see.
Tell him, hey, make sure you clarify yourself.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, they probably not going. And this is the last one.
I think they're talking about Valley, though. I think they're talking about Valley.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Ms. Grimm is talking about Valley. She said FBI's in Huntsville, too.
So do any of those coaches pick up the phone when Bethune calls?
Yeah. Bethune is a place that you can win. I mean, they sit right on one of the top recruiting grounds in all of the United States. And they've won there. Coach Jenkins won about 3 or 4 championships when he was there.
Yeah, I thought Miss Griffin was talking about Valley. Yeah, that's I know Miss Griffin. She knows football. And Valley. I'm gonna be honest with you with Valley. I'm gonna tell you, they have tried the young guy to give him a shot. But Coach Cole, I think you're right on here. I think they need an elder statesman coach. I think, but not. Hold on. But let me say this.
It ain't no question.
Yeah, but let me say this. And to my Jackson State people, they're going to say this. But not no Harold Jackson old. We don't need the Harold. My Jackson State people understand what I just said. No, we don't need the Harold Jackson level station.
I swear this is my last one. And I know this job won't be open. But this is where I think Coach Keaton fits perfectly, guys. I think he's tailor-made for Southern. I know the job won't be open or whatever, but I think he's tailor-made for Southern.
Hey, man, listen. Now, hold on. Now, see, Perry White ain't on here. Hey, man, Coach Gray's about to win the West. Coach Gray ain't going nowhere.
No. I'm just saying.
But don't put that, man. Don't have no Southern folks calling us want to whoop us up, man. They riding high, man. They just sticking out, Coach. So now they don't even put out. Hey, man, they winning. I don't know how they winning, but they winning.
hey, that rabbit's foot, that monkey ear, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. So now we're not gonna even talk. We ain't even gonna talk about teams that's winning. We're gonna talk about people that we feel pretty comfortable that the coach calls. He can't get too mad. He know we're not lying.
Well, I think, you going to Bayou Classic? I think I'm going to the Bayou Classic.
I don't know yet. My mother wants to go to New York to see the Lion King, so I'm gonna figure that out.
My mother-in-law coming to town, so no. I'm gonna spend some time with my mother-in-law.
Well, look, it ain't by choice. Let's get that straight.
I love my mother-in-law. I got the best mother-in-law in the world.
With a bat behind you, say something.
Hey, look at her. If Keisha leave me, I'm keeping my mother-in-law. She understand that. You hear me? I'm keeping my mother-in-law.
Yeah. Hey, your girl over here lighting it up, or your boy Bluefield, B-Field.
Oh, she said Keaton that prayer now. Now, see, Miss, listen, somebody Miss Berg, you want to put you another box up here. Now, she just said something there. Now, Rocky, that's down in your area.
Yeah.
Teddy Keaton with that Texas speed and talent.
What Michael Jackson say? You got to be started something.
Now, this is what's interesting. I see in different ways, though, but you'll get what I'm saying. I see the Preview fan base similar to the Clark Atlanta fan base, right? In this regard, they just don't know how to engage football. But if you could ever get them excited, you'd have one hell of experience over there. Because just like they do homecoming really well, and I'll leave it right there at PV. They do homecoming really, really, really well.
Let me say this, in some of those places, you need a coach like a Coach Keaton. That's how the SWAC used to be. They used to have these high-flying guys. That's why Sam Shade is a quiet guy. That's A&M style, with Coach Anthony back in the day when they were winning. Grambling can't say enough about Eddie Robinson. You'll be surprised at things that he would say at them interviews. Texas Southern, Southern University, those city schools, that flamboyancy, that come in and take the crowd over and get people excited about coming to the games. You know what I mean? That we gonna win. That's Teddy Keaton style. So those are the type of things that and Valley need a shot of B12. You know what I'm saying? They need a shot of B12 of somebody coming in there with a winning background.
Hey, and we tried to give Sean Gibbs to FAMU, and they didn't want him, so we're not going to even.
Man, listen, we saved Sean Gibbs' headache and his marriage. He didn't want to listen, man. Trust me. He is right where he needs to be. And
hey,
listen, man, because listen, man, because Scotty was out there trying to have a man dating our old age, man. Listen, and that man was 38 hot, man. Well, did he come in here with us?
Hey, don't say nothing about that. Because it was off camera. Don't say nothing.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I need to say, he needs to just stay right there. Listen, man, that man listen, boy, I'm happy.
boy, you're hard, boy. You went low and high. No, wait a minute.
Actually, if I remember correctly, I was the one that tried to shut it down. I think, Rocky, you were the one.
No. Coach Gibbs came on early, and he gave us a clear directive, and I'll just leave it right there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the bottom line is Exactly, because I'm the one that always keep it a straight and narrow. But the bottom line is, FAMU was not a good fit for him. That's just the bottom line.
Right.
He didn't want to bring up the FAMU opening in any great detail. And he addressed it the way he wanted to address it, and I think he did a good job of it. He said, "I'll leave it right there."
Absolutely. And no disrespect, but
and he's a great coach.
Man, he's a great coach that will fit, fit North Carolina A&T, no doubt about it.
Yes, sir. He should be in line for one.
Bishop, you ought to be checked with yourself.
Man, listen, I'm just trying to. Hey, man, I'm here. Hey, man, I'm here to heal hearts and help minds, brother.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Coach. If you don't have anything else, Bishop, you got anything?
Man, listen, I got one last thing.
Bishop, go ahead on and close it down, but make sure you tie it out at the end of the road.
No. That I want you to keep because that is yours. And like I say, it's just like our intern president trying to do strike again. He can't do it like Humphreys. Ain't no need trying to mess that up. I ain't gonna mess that up. But I am going to say this because we got a little bit of larger audience. Over this past week, we've had a lot of stuff going on social media. And I've always been one person to always support everybody that has channels and YouTubes and pages and things like that. And I was disappointed of what went down because we weren't talking sports. We were talking about each other. And it was about two people that I love and care, actually. And it bothered me because they are so talented. And we got to a point where people were being interjected and names were being called. But that is not what this space is about. This space is about what Coaches Corner is. Showing the best of us. Showing who we are. Showing the pride of our schools. Exposing players. So I'm going to say to all of my HBCU nieces and nephews and my uncles and aunts, let's help each other be better. When we see something kind of going, let's pull the young people to the side and say, hey, you might not want to go that route. Because we've all failed. All three of us on this channel have failed, but we're here right now. So I'm going to say to all my HBCU, I'm here for you. I love all of you all, and I'm never going to stop trying to be a positive light for all these schools and all of you all.
For sure.
That was nice, Coach. That was nice. Well, man, look, we had a great show. Championship week. I think that we're moving this program forward, but we can't do it without you. Still subscribe to the channel. Still share the channel for us. I think we up to 28, almost 3,000 followers in our first year. We're going to try to go through football season, but also bring football through basketball season as well, because you guys know that there's going to be big turnovers. We definitely will show up at these last big games. Of course, the Celebration Bowl, the Bayou Classic, the Turkey Day Classic. So we're going to try to get out and see all these games. Man, life is great. Like Coach said, that, man, at the end of the day, it's all fun and games. It's about information. It's about bringing you to the field, and that's what we want to do. It's about us, loving us. It's for us and by us. So if you feel yourself not feeling good and you think you can't go anywhere, tie a knot at the end of your rope. We all got a rope. Tie a knot at the end of the rope. Hold on tight, because ain't nobody.
My name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.